Welcome, everybody, to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
What's up, everybody?
I feel like I just saw you guys.
Yeah, God, it hadn't seemed very long.
That's what happens when you do week to week. We're gone too much.
We are gone too much.
Between the three of us, it's really impressive that we can even find a day to record.
But we do.
Yep. We get her done.
We're not going to give up.
And I'm super excited to continue the conversation that we started last week. Man, I love this one.
I do too. I really do. This is really fun for me to go back over this because it's been a while since I actually went through all of them together. It's really good.
It's a lot for me to work on.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
This is the work I love.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people will find is that they do this. Mm-hmm. They do these things anyway, a lot of them, but then there are some that you think, okay, well, I'm going to really make an effort to make sure that I meditate 30 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon. And I don't even know if I'll actually do that, but I do think that I think it's interesting, and I think it gives people some applicable moves to get their lives in a place where they really want it to be.
Yeah. I think your point is a great one. You take the parts that really speak to you and that you love, and you can kind of leave behind the rest. There's no way I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes twice a day. But like when I go out and walk, I try really hard to, if I can, to leave my phone or leave. I don't take headphones, and I really try. I really like to hear nature, like that one from last week that says. And so for me, that is a form of meditation.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yes.
So don't think it has to look exactly the way everybody, like the Deepak is.
Yeah, you don't have to sit on a cushion with your legs crossed and say, have incense burning in the background. Exactly. I used to do that. I had a little table and I would sit and burn incense.
Well, I don't like the way incense smells.
You don't?
No, do you?
I actually do like it.
It's a very distinct smell, but it's a little strong for me.
Yeah.
So we need to thank Alex Verson. He is a dear friend of mine, and he's our sponsor today.
Oh, Alex, thank you.
Does not miss a remedy.
Oh, that is so amazing.
Doesn't miss a remedy. He lives in Oregon, and he's just
wonder how many guy listeners we actually have.
I don't know, but I bet they're great people.
Their wives owe us.
They're very smart, evolved men in this world because of Tova and Janice. He doesn't miss. He really doesn't. He always sends like a little something from the podcast that he listened to that he liked.
That's really cute. So how did he become your friend?
Through another friend. I met him through another girl that I knew and that he actually dated. But we've just remained friends.
Oh, and that's really cool.
He's a lovely human and
nice.
Yeah, and he's just a big fan, which I really, really, really appreciate.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so do you want to just give a quick intro just in case somebody did not listen to last week?
So what we talked about last week, and we're going to continue to do it today, is based on Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And years ago, when I very first heard about these, I really delved into this and read a lot about it and actually practiced a lot of these things. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Deepak Chopra, he is a very well-known spiritual leader, teacher, guru, and on meditation, personal growth, love, spirituality, career, and success. And the thing I like about him in listening to him, and you can download this, and he is the one that talks about it. And I love it because it's so real, and it's really applicable and sensible and not too
Accessible.
very accessible and not too woo, out there on the edge too
I
much.
agree with that about him.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like him. His way really speaks to me.
I think so too, Tova. Yeah. You want to start with the next one?
Sure. So we're on number 4, or Wednesday. And this is called, I really like the title of this one, The Law of Least Effort. So it says, accept people, situations, and events as they occur. Take responsibility for your situation and for all events seen as problems. Relinquish the need to defend your point of view. Wow. That's some advice right there.
Isn't it?
Okay. This says, he continues to say, nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. And when we harness the forces of harmony, joy, and love, we create success and good fortune with effortless ease. I guess the mantra is, I will put the law of least effort into effect by making a commitment to the following steps. I will practice acceptance. Today, I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. I will know that this moment is as it should be because the whole universe is as it should be. I will not struggle against the whole universe by struggling against this moment. Wow, I like that. My acceptance is total and complete. I accept things as they are this moment, not as I wish they were. Whew. Having accepted things as they are, I will take responsibility for my situation and for all those events I see as problems. I know that taking responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for my situation, and this includes myself. I also know that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. And this alertness to opportunities allows me to take this moment and transform it into a greater benefit. Today, my awareness will remain established in defenselessness. I will relinquish the need to defend my point of view, and I will feel no need to persuade others to accept my point of view. I will remain open to all points of view, and I will not be rigidly attached to any one of them. This is a life, world-changing concept. This is a world-changing concept. Because I think so many people, not only do they think that they're right, I think they think others are wrong. Of course I think I'm right. It's my thought.
Yeah.
Of course I think my political, my spiritual, my parental, the way I dress, the way I live my life, I stand by it. But if somebody else has a different opinion or a different way or a different outlook, I don't think they're wrong. But I think that's where we get caught up, is all this angst about not only am I right, but you're wrong. And so we have to fight the wrong to convince the person that they're wrong. And yet trying to convince somebody that they're wrong, I think, is one of the least inspiring things to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to change my children's minds about curfew.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
But I'm going to think my way. They can think their way. But I'm going to lose the struggle to win that argument.
Yeah. And that is acceptance, accepting things as they are. Doesn't mean you like it. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything else except it just is what it is. And I think the thing about this that is the most difficult for me is that I will defend my point of view in my head over and over again. Like if somebody has done something that really was hurtful to me or I felt like was unkind, My biggest struggle with this is just between my ears because my thinking will run amok and I will be defending my position in my head until it wears me out.
So you're very good about keeping your mouth shut.
Yes.
But
if I
it
have to.
still exists in between your ears.
That's
the work for you.
Mm-hmm, that's the work for me is I will go over it and I'll go over it again and then I'll be rationalizing, justifying everything, my feelings, my thoughts, everything maybe I did and make them the culprit, That's my struggle is between my ears. But I tell you what, Al-Anon really helped me for that because acceptance is a huge principle in Al-Anon, is that it just is what it is, and we need to get on with our lives. And if you have to step over their body and go on with your life, then that's what you do. But I can do that, but I go to town between my ears
brain.
for a while.
I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. I'm reading a book, and the quote that I've loved the most in it is the most important conversations you will ever have is the ones that we have with ourselves. And it's so true. I mean, we may have mastered the tongue lashing or the unleashing, or the temper or the anger. But I'm with you. The spin is still. I've got massive spin in my head. I mean, I hate that you even said that because I'm like, damn it, me too.
Maybe it's contagious. Well, and then I get to the point where I'm like, I'm tired. I haven't slept well because this has been going on in my head for a long time or whatever. And then I'm finally like, okay, all right, get over yourself, Janice, and stop thinking about it. So then you have to do thought replacement.
About the thing.
Because really what I want to do is take a billboard out on 35 blasting the person that did me wrong. I'm so nice.
I think that so many people are like, thank God Janice is saying that right now. Tom, what were you going to say? I thought I heard you about to pipe up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so you're saying the opposite of what homegirl that we had lunch at Neighborhood Services with was doing.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right.
And if listeners don't know what we're talking about, it was an episode a while ago, and it's too long to go into, but this girl did not practice what we're talking about. She was ready to change, and she thought she was right, and everybody else was wrong.
There wasn't an opinion that didn't go unturned in her mind.
Her opinions were facts.
Yeah.
Unproven facts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And yeah. And you know what? I think to that point, I think those are some of the most difficult people to be around. I just don't even want to have lunch with those people.
No.
Because if you don't have an open mind and you think you're right and everybody else is wrong, there's no room for me there. There's no room. I don't want, that's not my playground.
Right.
I want to get on the seesaw too. Yeah. You're hogging it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing that's so interesting about politics and all of that is that it's just this banter back and forth about, and who knows who's right or wrong or whatever.
Nobody.
It just really doesn't matter.
And then let's just, to that perfect example, when have you ever watched a show where they've got a Democrat on giving one perspective on one side, a Republican on the other side giving the other perspective, and one of them at any point in the conversation said, well, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never thought of it like that. That really changes my perspective.
No, they are on the defensive
Totally.
or offensive continually.
And you know what I want to do?
Turn it
Throw
off.
my television across the room. I just don't even want to listen to that.
Do you watch Succession?
Oh, I'm obsessed with Succession.
Tom, do you watch it?
We do, but
I love it.
my opinion, I will defend. I think that it's gotten pretty ridiculous. I don't feel like the dialogue is actually saying that much. I feel like they use all these
That's a really
funny.
interesting.
Like
I'm
I
behind,
do love the
so
show.
I'm
but
behind, so don't give anything.
Yeah.
I
about
just
the
feel
show.
like the dialogue has become more like these little one-liners and words like crush and
It's real sarcastic
it's
too.
yes,
it's
and they're really
very
They're
sarcastic.
so terrible, and they just don't seem to. I don't know. I feel like the dialogue is very thin. They say a lot of words, but there's not a lot that comes out of it.
That's happening.
Yeah, but yes, I watch it and we love it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe this
running
season,
out of gas.
This season is running out of gas.
Well, and you never hear any of the characters say to their other one, you know what, you're right.
Yes.
I was so off base
I
with
was so
that.
wrong.
That was so disrespectful of me. I apologize. And they
Connor, the oldest son, is the funniest. His whole thing is it is hilarious.
My favorite
I'm
is
almost in it
Roman.
just for that.
Roman's a hot mess.
Roman cracks me up, and Shiv just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
No doubt.
I mean, but I kind of love watching.
You know,
the
she is
heebie-jeebies.
pregnant in real life.
Oh, is she?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I read an article on that.
oh.
I didn't realize that Tom, her husband on the show, is actually English in real life.
Yeah, and
It's so
she's
weird to hear him-
Australian.
Yeah, it's weird to hear his
Really?
accent.
Yeah, their accents are unbelievable.
Yep.
Who would have thought? That's impressive.
I got to practice on my accents because I'm not doing too well on my Australian accent, and I might need to be in a commercial or something.
For sure, somebody's going to ask you to be in a commercial.
Yeah, I think so,
With an
probably.
Australian accent.
Okay.
I like that one.
I do too.
I think it's just a good reminder to like Carter says, it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that
It's
deep.
just not that
but it's
deep.
pretty deep.
Yeah.
But it's not that deep
People
to
are
do.
making it so deep.
Yeah.
Just live and let live.
Yeah, I love that too. All right. Is it my turn?
It is.
Thursday. The law of intention and desire. Inherent in every intention and desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. Make a list of desires. Trust that when things don't seem to go your way, there is a reason. Inherent, let's see. I will put the law of intention and desire into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. I will make a list of all of my desires. I will carry this list with me wherever I go. I will look at this list before I go into my silence and meditation. I will look at it before I go to sleep at night. I will look at it when I wake up in the morning. I will release this list of my desires and surrender it to the womb of creation. Oh, I love that. Trusting that when things don't seem to go my way, there is a reason, and that the cosmic plan has designs for me much grander than even those I have conceived. Number 3, I will remind myself to practice present moment awareness in all my actions. I will refuse to allow obstacles to consume and dissipate the quality of my attention in the present moment. I will accept the present as it is and manifest the future through my deepest, most cherished intentions and desires.
I so love this one.
I do too. And to think about what is my intent, what are my desires, what do I want, and what are my intentions?
I think that's one of the most profound questions that is asked in therapy. What do you want? Because people go off, I went off in your office a bazillion times, and I would finish my dialogue, and then you would just look at me and say, well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, shit. That's why I'm here. You tell me
What you want?
But I think that if you just ask yourself, that question, it is a profound one. And then a place of trust. I think that is so difficult for so many people.
It is.
And when things don't go their way, instead of acceptance, there's often struggle or resentment or anger or bitterness. And instead of, I love the thought, accept it and trust that God has something else that's better.
Yeah.
That was a really difficult thing for me to trust when I was dating. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fear and like, okay, I don't think this is the best for me, but if I cut things off, then I've got to start all over. And
I was right there with you, girl, holding your hand with that.
And what if this is the best I can get? You know?
And what if I walk away and then they go somewhere and that was the best? Yeah, none of them were.
Yeah, none of them.
And there were a slew of them.
Yeah, and we won't name names.
No, we won't. We won't.
But I just, it's with everything. It's with finances. It's with our children. It's with our jobs. It's you think you have, oh God, if I don't get this job, I'm going to die. Like how, please. And then you don't get the job and just trusting that there's going to be something else coming along.
Yeah.
It's going to be a better opportunity.
Yeah.
I
agree.
so believe in that.
I do too, Tova. I really do.
Okay. The next one. Oh, I got to go back. Sorry. Okay. Are we on Friday?
We are.
Okay. The law of detachment. Man, oh man. Allow yourself and others the freedom to be who they are. Do not force solutions. Allow solutions to spontaneously emerge. Uncertainty is essential and your path to freedom. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the unknown, which is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, the field of all possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. Wow, I love that. I will put the law of detachment into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. Today, I will commit myself to detachment. I will allow myself and those around me the freedom to be as they are. I will not rigidly impose my idea of how things should be. I will not force solutions on problems, thereby creating new problems. I will participate in everything with detached involvement. Today, I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient of my experience. In my willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge out of the problem, out of the confusion, disorder, and chaos. The more uncertain things seem to be, the more secure I will feel, because uncertainty is my path to freedom. Through the wisdom of uncertainty, I will find security. I will step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when I remain open to an infinity of choices. When I step into the field of all possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. I think this is very difficult.
I was just thinking when you were reading this, so many people have said to me since Prince Charming is Dead or in Rehab came out. For those of you who don't know, that's the name of my new book.
It's fantastic. Ready on Amazon for you.
And people have said, so how many books have you sold? And I've said, I have no idea. I don't know. I could find out, but I don't really need to know. Or they'll say, so what do you want to do now with it? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. I don't care if something comes up, I'll do it, and then so then it's like I have no
attachment to the outcome.
I have no attachment to the outcome. I'm just so glad that it's finished.
Yeah.
It's
a perfect example.
It's the perfect example. It will be what it will be. And yeah.
And with or without effort. I mean,
yeah.
I do believe we drive ourselves crazy, and we spin, and we are tireless in our efforts. I could create such chaos in my brain and my life about being a mom and the outcome of my children. The outcome of my children is not my job.
It's actually none of your business.
It's none of my business.
It's not yours.
It's not mine.
You care.
Of course. And I love, and I've created a safe, warm environment where they felt loved and cared for and fed. And I taught them lots of things. But if my children, whether they become the next president, which I would not wish on anybody, so that's a terrible example. But if they become something, which on paper is phenomenal, or they become a homeless drug addict, I cannot take credit nor responsibility for the outcome.
No.
But I think we all want to control the outcome so desperate.
Yeah, and I think that one of the reasons, I think that I have done a good job of this with my adult daughters. And because I know what's on my side of the street and what's not. And I will ask them, hey, I have an opinion about this. Do you want to hear it? And a lot of times they'll say, no. Not everybody wants to have a mother that's a therapist or a grandmother that's a therapist or a wife that's a therapist. But there's such release in not holding on to the outcome. And it doesn't mean I don't care. I mean, Skylar and Owen are 13, so they're in middle school, and now it's like, oh, it's kind of scary thinking about them getting in cars and driving and all of that. But it's just, there's such peace in not having any sort of control over the outcome. I can love them. I can help them out if they ask me, but I can't control the outcome of my book, of my grandkids. Yeah, my daughters. Yeah.
It's not ours to control.
No, it really isn't. And that's really good news because I might really mess it up.
Oh, I think detachment is probably one of the most difficult lessons to learn in the emotional intelligence evolution. And yet I think that's where our freedom lies.
Yeah, and from the moment that child is born, Tom with Betty. How's Betty 8?
She just turned 8.
Yeah. So, she's got you've got lots of years of parenting. And I can remember thinking, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess this up. And then as you go through these different stages and you do what's in front of you to be done, and then you let go of the outcome. And that's where the detachment comes in. It's not like you're just going to sit on the Barca-lounger and say, oh, Betty, go do whatever you want to do. You're not going to do that. But you can't control the moment they leave your house. You can't control it. And it'll make you crazy.
It'll make you crazy.
If you think you can.
No, it'll make following your children on Live 360 or whatever it is does not change the outcome. No. It just makes you crazy.
No. I'll never forget. I had a client come in and they were using that. And I said, turn that off. And she said, but I won't know where my daughter is. And I'm like, that's going to be really helpful to you. Because they will, at some point in time, they will get caught doing something.
Totally.
And so that's all right.
Yeah,
they'll have to figure that up.
Yes.
Figure that out.
There's this precious girl that I counsel, and her dad is a really big deal at her university. And it's awful for her because things get back to him about her all the time. And the mom really likes it that all this information gets back to the parents.
My gosh.
Because now she knows what her daughter's really up to. And I told her this morning, I was like, I can't tell you how much I don't want to know what my children are doing in college. If I had an inside camera scoop, like if there was an insider, if there was a mole that could get back to me and tell me everything Anna Printer, please don't tell me. Like, I don't want to know.
No, it'd be terrible. You'd
don't
probably be
know.
hanging in the corner.
Of course, I'd be pissing myself. I know that there's just things that I don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't need to know.
And I don't need to know. And you know what? They've got to learn all those lessons on their own, just like I did. And, our parents didn't have trackers or Live 360.
I didn't have a cell phone.
Of course not. We didn't have cell phones till our 20s. I mean, no.
I didn't have,
No.
Except my mother. I told you this story. Did I tell you about my mother steaming open a letter?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I
but tell it.
Well, I was probably a sophomore in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And my best friend had moved to Hurst, Texas. And so I went to visit with her and spend the weekend with her. And I came back and I was writing. Well, when I came back and I flew from Love Field and I bought cigarettes and I was smoking in the airport because you could do it then. So then when I got home, I went out with Sam and we drank a bunch of beer and everything. And so the next day I was writing a letter to my friend Cheryl saying, okay, well, I smoked cigarettes in the airport. And then Sam and I went out. We went to like a nightclub and danced and drank beer and stuff. And my mother walked in the room. And as she walked in the room while I was writing the letter, I put my hand over the letter. And so then
she was immediately curious.
So then she just walked out and then I sealed the letter and put it on the mailbox. And my sweet mother, oh my gosh, she steamed it open.
You only see that in the movies. Nobody believes that actually works, and yet obviously it does.
It did, and she pulled it out, and there was the letter to Cheryl about me acting the fool. And so my mom and dad showed up at the high school. It was basketball night, and I was head cheerleader, and my parents are walking into the gymnasium, and my dad just takes his finger and says, come here. Went home. You would have thought that I had pulled a train of men, 30 in kind, or tried to assassinate the president, how distraught my mother and dad were.
Did you know the second that you saw them come into the gym that you were in trouble?
I did. I knew it.
Did you know what it was?
No, I didn't know what it was.
What did I get caught with?
Knew, and yeah. So we used to my sweet mom, we teased her about that for so long. Be careful, don't leave your letters sitting around. Mom's going to steam them open.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I mean,
yeah.
That was that back in the day of moms reading cell phones and iPads and looking through pictures, and I don't want to know what's on Carter's phone. At all.
I kind of do.
I don't. That would shock me. I don't know what it is.
If I ever get a chance to peek at it and he gives me permission, I promise I won't tell you.
I do not want the inside scoop. Ignorance is bliss.
For sure.
Okay, this is our last one. Saturday, the law of Dharma. Is it your turn to read?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why don't you just go ahead and read
it? Seek your higher self. Discover your unique talents. Ask yourself how you are best suited to serve humanity. Using your unique talents and serving others brings unlimited bliss and abundance. That's the law of Dharma. Okay, so I'm going to read you the rest of it. The law of Dharma, or purpose in life. Everyone has a purpose in life, a unique gift or special talent to give to others. And when we blend this unique talent with service to others, we experience the ecstasy and exaltation of our own spirit, which is the ultimate goal. I will put the law of Dharma into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. Today, I will lovingly nurture the god or goddess in embryo that lies deep within my soul.
I love that.
I love that too. I've never read that before that I remember. I will pay attention to the spirit within me that animates both my body and my mind. I will awaken myself to this deep stillness within my heart. I will carry the consciousness of timeless, eternal being in the midst of time-bound experience. Number 2, I will make a list of my unique talents. Then I will list all the things that I love to do while expressing my unique talents. When I express my unique talents and see them in the service of humanity, I lose track of time and create abundance in my life as well as in the lives of others. Number 3, I will ask myself daily, how can I serve and how can I help? The answer to these questions will allow me to help and serve my fellow human beings with love.
Beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful. You know, I believe so much in this, and I feel it personally such a unique sense of purpose in my life, and that I've been given very specific gifts and talents to bless others that are not mine. It's not like I've cultivated all the things that are in me. It's just like a God-given gift that is my privilege to share with the world, which gives and brings me a great sense of purpose. And I tell people this all the time, whether it's a conference we have or a counseling or Bible study, that I believe so much in this, that we all have such a unique sense of purpose, specifically for the world in this time. Like, we're not a mistake. And yet I feel like so many people look at me like I have 3 heads when I'm saying this, because they have no sense of purpose in their life. And they don't even know where to start to get it. Do you experience that with people?
Yeah, I think that's true, because I think that people spend too much time in their head about it, rather than, I think a lot of times people can identify a purpose by what when it creates passion, and when you do something and you're good at it. You know, I mean, I have never spoken to anyone that has been in your Bible study or knows you that doesn't go on and on and on in such a positive way about you. You have a talent that touches people beyond what you probably even know or imagine. But I mean, everybody says, oh my gosh, I love Tova. Oh my gosh,
really
she's
nice.
changed my life. It's true. It's definitely, it is true. And you have been through, the fact that you have been through such very, very, very difficult losses with your children is I mean, a lot of people would never have taken that wound and that sadness and used it to make the world a better place. And you have done that so beautifully.
Janice, that is so nice.
It's
of you to
really
say.
true,
Well,
Tova.
I really appreciate that, and that means more to me than you'll ever know. But I accept that, and I just, with a lot of gratitude, appreciate that. And I don't think I'm special.
Well, you are, but
No special than you or Tom or anybody else that's walking this planet.
But your talent is beyond.
Right.
You have a very specific, special
Yes.
talent that makes you special.
Yes. And I believe that I could say the exact same thing about you and Betty and Craig and Tom and, you know, every single Blair, like,
Well, I think that's grace.
yeah.
And I believe that that's no accident. I think that I just want you to really sit in that, because you have done a magnificent, you really have been a big influence on a lot of people.
And so have you. And I think our impact is, we may have different approaches, or we may have, but it's equally as special and unique to you as it is to me. And it's all connected.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I believe that like you doing you is really important to me becoming me. And me doing me is really important to other people becoming them. And it's like something happens when we're all on our dance floor And it's a symphony. And I may play the piano and you may play the clarinet and Tom may do the cello, but together it's beautiful music. And I think that of the world. And we just function better as a world when we're all playing our instrument to its finest.
Well, and I think that that's the really fun part of this podcast is, Tom's in the booth, but he makes this possible.
Totally
possible. We
just show up and yap our jaws.
Yeah, we do. Act like we know what we're saying. Don't look it up.
All I'm doing is pressing record.
That's hilarious.
But, so then it all kind of, you're right, it all plays together. And it's very cool. It's
a small example of the way I believe
the world,
the universe, and all of us in it. And I know we got to go, but I'll end with, I think that's where compassion comes in. We started with lose judgment, and I think it's a great place to end too, because I think if we love each other and walk with the least amount of judgment as possible on each other's paths, then just grace, like you said, is the answer to all of it.
And I love thinking about to look at people and say, oh, look, there they are being them.
Perfect. I asked you last week, like, how do you walk without judgment? Just like that. That's the perfect example.
That's so interesting. Look at her being
Look at her being her. You go, girl. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Have an amazing week.
Adios.
He's getting his Spanish practice in.
He is.
My God has a telephone. Give it